Are you someone struggling with latte art? Imagine you spend thousands of dollars to buy such an amazing espresso machine and you're failing to make even the basic latte art. You're having very many unanswered questions regarding latte art. This Q&A video is going to be for you because I have put together the most common questions you guys have been asking me about latte art, and I want to make sure by the end of this video you have all your questions answered so that you can see significant growth and improvement on your latte art. And we're going to be starting with the first question, which is about the espresso machine. Not every espresso machine that you buy will help you make a good latte art. If you're having an espresso machine with the steam one like this, and you end up with the foamy texture, it's going to be impossible for you to make a good latte art using this type of espresso machine with this steam one. So it's recommended for an espresso machine to be able to perfectly steam your milk. It should be able to release a steam pressure which is around 1 to 1.5. This steam pressure is what is going to enable you to perfectly steam your milk, which will make latte art pouring very easy. And the second question that I get asked is about coffee beans. What coffee beans I use? Do I use dark roasted coffee beans for my latte art? As long as the type of coffee beans that you're using are able to give you a good shot of espresso with a good creamer, that will be a good starting point for your latte art journey. But I personally, I would recommend for you, if you're a beginner with no experience, to start with a medium roasted coffee. This will allow you to have a well balance of the creamer, which makes it easy for you to make your first latte art. Whereas the dark roasted coffee looks good, it gives you that good contrast of your latte art. Sometimes it might be very tricky for beginner baristas because of the heavy creamer that is on a dark roasted coffee. And common question number 3, how long should it take for you to add in air into your milk for your latte, cappuccino, and a flat white? If you keep on adding in air depending on time, you're going to end up with a very thick foam, which is going to make it hard for you to make a good latte art. A technique that I teach to very many beginner baristas is to think of adding air into your milk as if you're blowing air into a balloon. The more air you add in a balloon, the more bigger the balloon will become. The less air that you add in the balloon, the smaller the balloon is going to be. Same applies to when you're adding air into your milk to make the latte, cappuccino, and the flat white. As you might know, cappuccino has the most amount of foam, latte has less amount of foam, and flat white has the least amount of foam. So depending on the type of espresso machine you're using, this is what will influence how long you add air into your milk. Home espresso machines are not going to take the same amount of time as for a professional espresso machine. For example, if you're using a professional espresso machine, adding in air for a latte, you will need only 2 to 3 seconds and then you texture your milk. Whereas if you're using a home espresso machine, you might end up adding in air for 20 seconds, then texturing until 1 minute. This is something that you need to practice and experiment. Know the technique behind the amount of foam. The more air you add into your milk, the more foam. The less air, the less foam. And common question number 4, how you can stop adding in air while keeping the Vortex. When you're steaming your milk, we follow 2 steps. The first step is adding in air. The second step is creating a perfect Vortex. A Vortex is when you're mixing in the air that you added in and expanding the proteins and the fats to create that good foam for our latte art. So if you have added in enough air and you want to keep on vortexing and texturing your milk, you just lift up your jug so that you can continue texturing your milk and wait until the milk reaches the ideal temperature, and this is when you stop and you can start pouring your latte art. And question number 5, why you're failing to make a hat. I have had very many people reach out to me telling me that they have been practicing for weeks and they are unable to make a good latte art on their cup of coffee. If your latte art is disappearing, chances are you're pouring from very high. Instead of the foam sitting on top, it's just sinking down into the espresso, not enabling you to make a hat. And also, some beginners make a mistake of starting to pour their hat when the cup is almost full. This ends up preventing you from making your latte art because you feel that the coffee is going to start overflowing. You need to start pouring your latte at 3/4 of the cup, and this is how I achieve it. I start by mixing in from high to create my canvas. 3/4 of the cup, I lower down the jug, I push to create my base of the hat, then lift up and cut. 4 steps that you need to follow. Pour from high to create a canvas, lower down, push to create the base of the hat, then lift up again and cut. These are the 4 steps that you should follow for you to be able to pour a hat. And question number 6, which is why your latte art breaks or ends up being messy whenever you try pouring. If you don't have enough foam on top of your milk, the milk is going to be messy and it will end up breaking whenever you're pouring or trying to wiggle, and you won't be able to make a good latte art on your cup of coffee. Now here are quick fire questions. Can plant-based milks make good latte art? Yes, they can make. You just need to find the right brand of the plant-based milks that will match well with your coffee. I have done tons of videos regarding plant-based milks and how you can steam and make latte art. I'll link them in the description. Check them out. Next, do you need an expensive milk picture? I wouldn't recommend for you to invest a lot of money to buying an expensive milk picture. Rather, I would recommend for you to start practicing with the basic milk picture that you're having. After mastering how you can perfectly steam your milk and trying to make the basic latte art, then from there you can invest that money because you'll have a return of the money. Expensive milk pictures will give you good result if you have experience. Next, how long does it take to learn latte art? This depends on individuals. Some people take days, some people take weeks, and some people take a long time. The most important thing, if you want to master latte art or make the first latte art within a short period of time, you need to constantly practice. The more practice, the more easier it's going to be. If someone is really ready and practices even for a day, with someone guiding them on how they can make that latte art, within a day or 2 days, they will be able to make a hat. From there, they can start shaping it and making it perfectly. And next, should I make a tulip or a rosetta first? I would recommend for you to start with the hat, which is the foundation of all latte art. It teaches you the pouring technique. From the hat, then you can go in for the tulip, rosetta, and even a swan, and even make the more complex latte art designs for professionals. And if there is one thing that I would like you to take from this video to help you grow your latte art skills, is to know that your latte art problems are not about latte art, but 80% of the challenges you're having with your latte art are because of your milk steaming. Milk steaming is very important. If you master how to perfectly steam your milk, then making latte art is going to be very easy. So your first step or the foundation of making good latte art is milk steaming. If you don't know how to perfectly steam your milk, or you don't have a technique that you can use each and every day and master it very well for your latte art, then I would recommend for you to watch this video next for a complete guide on how you can perfectly steam your milk.